There are some huge world-changing things happening all around us, and for some reason, nobody is really talking about them. And honestly, they're impacting us in ways that are kind of hard to even wrap your head around.
And I want to be super clear about this. What we're about to get into isn't some crazy prediction. It's not a what if scenario for the future. No, this is all happening as we speak, right now.
So, forget what you've seen in disaster movies or read in science fiction books. This is the real deal. These are documented, observable events unfolding today. And that right there might be the craziest part of it all. These massive shifts are just flying completely under the radar for most people. So let's change that. Let's put them on the screen.
Okay, first up is something that just sounds, well, impossible. An entire megacity is literally disappearing into the ocean.
I'm talking about Jakarta, the capital of Indonesia, a city with over 10 million people. And the speed of this is what's just mind-blowing. In some parts of the city, the ground is sinking by 25 centimeters. That's almost a foot every single year. This isn't just some slow geological thing anymore. This is a full-blown emergency in real time.
So you're probably asking, how on earth can a city sink that fast? Well, it's not just one thing. It's actually a combination of a few really powerful forces all hitting at once.
Yeah, it's basically a perfect storm. For years and years, people have been pumping massive amounts of water out from under the city, and that's causing the ground itself to just compact and sink. You add rising sea levels to that, and you've got a devastating 1-2 punch. Then, believe it or not, the sheer weight of all the buildings just pushes it down even faster.
It's gotten so bad, so dire, that the Indonesian government is doing something that sounds like it's straight out of a movie. They're packing up and moving the entire capital to a brand new city on a totally different island. Just think about that for a second. The problem is so big that the only solution left is to just abandon the city. All right, let's move on to number 2, which is just as urgent. The very real possibility of our major cities completely running out of water. And this isn't just some abstract idea. There's a name for it, Day Zero. The term got really famous back in 2018 when Cape Town, South Africa, got terrifyingly close to being the first major city in the modern world to have the taps run completely dry. And let me tell you what that actually looks like. We're talking severe water rationing, people limited to just a few gallons a day. You'd see these huge, long lines at public water stations. The entire city was on edge, with millions of people facing the very real threat of turning on the faucet and having nothing come out. Now, Cape Town did manage to pull back from the brink with some really extreme measures, but it was a massive wake-up call for the rest of the world. With climate change making droughts worse and cities getting bigger, the experts are all saying Day Zero wasn't a one-time thing. It's a looming threat for so many other cities around the globe. For our third point, we're headed to the most remote place on the entire planet, Antarctica. And what scientists are finding there, deep under the ice, is both amazing and, frankly, a little terrifying. So get this, miles beneath the solid ice, they're discovering entire hidden worlds. I'm talking about enormous subglacial lakes, some as big as small seas, that have been cut off from the rest of the planet. And in them, completely unknown ecosystems, with life forms that have been living in total darkness for millions of years. But here's the scary part. As the planet gets warmer, all that ice is starting to melt, and these completely isolated worlds are being exposed to our world for the first time. We have absolutely no idea what kind of unknown microorganisms or pathogens are down there, things our bodies have never ever seen before. And once they're out, you can't put them back. Okay, let's switch gears from the natural world to the tech world. Artificial intelligence isn't science fiction anymore, it's here, and it is already changing the job market in a huge way. The kind of jobs we used to think were safe, skilled, creative, white-collar jobs, are now being done by AI. It can write whole articles, come up with incredible graphic designs, edit complicated videos, and even handle customer service calls, often way faster and better than a person can. And the recent companies are jumping on this so fast, it's just simple economics. For a lot of these tasks, AI is proving to be way faster, a whole lot cheaper, and way more reliable than hiring a person. It's a massive incentive to automate. So look, the real threat here isn't the technology itself. It's the absolutely insane speed that it's evolving. We could see millions of jobs getting disrupted in just a handful of years. And that's a pace our society might not be ready to handle. And for our last point, we're going back to the ice. But this time, it's about something that's locked inside it that could be a direct threat to all of us: ancient zombie viruses.
Seriously, just think about this. Buried in the Arctic permafrost are viruses that have been frozen solid for tens of thousands of years. But as the world heats up, that frozen ground is thawing, and these ancient viruses are literally waking up. This isn't a theory. Scientists have actually revived a 30,000-year-old virus, proving that this can and does happen.
And this is why it's so incredibly dangerous. These things predate modern humans. Our immune systems have never seen them before, which means we have zero natural immunity. And because science doesn't even know they exist, we have no vaccines, no treatments, absolutely no preparation for what they could do.
So when you put it all together, sinking cities, water running out, AI taking over, and ancient viruses coming back to life, you realize these aren't just separate, scary stories. They're all very real things happening today, painting a picture of a world that is changing incredibly fast. And that really just leaves us with one big question. The world is changing faster than at any other point in human history. We can see it happening. The only question left is, are any of us truly ready for what comes next?